If you have collections or a charge off, student loans with late payments, or repossession, or maybe a bankruptcy, or maybe you got child support, or maybe you have eviction on your credit report, I want to show you 8 specific laws to help you remove those accounts from your credit report. Using these specific laws help this person remove multiple collections from their credit report, help this person remove a Navy Federal account from their credit report, help this person remove a repossession from their credit report. As you can see, multiple student loans came off as well, and I'm going to show you these specific laws to help you remove anything from your credit report. So let's get it, man. I'm so excited to share with you these specific laws to help you knock the credit bureaus out. All right. So first things first, the first law we're going to be talking about is 15 USC 1681 CC. All right. Now, what you want to do is grab this specific law and go to Google. All right. Go to Google. Let me share this. All right. So go to 15 USC 1681. All right. Now, what you want to do first is just scroll all the way down. And if you see this specific link, click on it. And then from there, what we want to do is click on the sub chapters. All right. Because it's going to break down all the specific laws that's within the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right. Now, from there, what we want to do is go to 15 USC 1681C. And then from there, what we want to do is just scroll all the way down. And you're going to see letter C. All right. Now, once you get to letter C, running of reporting period, as you can see, the 7-year period referred to in paragraph 4 and 6 of subsection A shall begin with respect to any delinquent account that is placed for collection internally or by referred to a third party, whichever is earlier, charged to profit and loss or subject to any similar action upon the expiration of a 100-day period beginning on the date of the commencement of delinquency, which immediately precede the collection activity, charged to profit and loss or similar action. All right, so with this specific law, basically what happens is if you order your credit reports from, let's just say, TransUnion, Equifax, or your annual credit report, right? Usually, 9 times out of 10, the date of first delinquency is wrong. And since it's wrong, guess what? This count is gonna be on your report longer than expected, or longer than what it's supposed to be, which is a violation of this specific law. So you can leverage this one specific law to get that account removed from your credit report. All right. So all you have to do is get your credit report from annualcreditreport.com or call TransUnion, call Equifax, call Experian, order your report. But most 9 times out of 10, you're going to see this specific thing that's wrong on TransUnion, Equifax, and you can leverage that to get that account removed from your credit report. And another thing you can do is if you want to work with a lawyer, guess what? Since this account is going to be long, well, since this is wrong, guess what? This account is going to be longer on your credit report, which is a violation, which also affects multiple areas of your life, and you can sue. Get what I'm saying? All right. So you can leverage this law if you want to work with an attorney, or you can leverage this to help you get this account removed from your credit report. All right. So let me show you the next specific law to help you get accounts removed from your credit report. All right. So 15 USC 1692E. All right, so what you want to do is Google 15 USC 1692, all right, and then click on this specific website, and then from there, what we're going to do is click on the subchapters, all right, and it's going to break down. And what we want to do is go to E, right, false or misleading representation, all right, and then from there, what we want to do is just scroll all the way down, and then a debt collector may not use any false, deceptive, or misleading representation or means in connection with the collection of any debt without limiting the general application of the foregoing, the following conduct is a violation of this specific section. All right. Number one, the false representation or implication that the debt collector is vouched for, bonded by, or affiliated with the United States or any state, including the use of any badge, uniform, etc. Right. And then number two, I'm not going to read every single one, all right, because we will be here all day. But most importantly, if you don't understand this, right, what you can do is copy this specific law, right? Copy this, and let me show you. Copy this specific law, and then from there, what you can do is go to Chat GPT, because I don't know everything. Everybody doesn't know everything. So if you want to understand more of this specific law, so it can break it down in simpler terms, so you can understand and grasp it. So what you want to do now is just, can you break this law so I can understand it? 15 USC code, false or misleading representation. All right. So it'll break it down, key purposes, and also give you specific examples of how to leverage this if this happened to you. So let me go over some of the examples. All right. false representation of debt or legal status, right? False representation of authority or affiliation, pretending to be a lawyer as part of government agency when they're not, right? Implying arrest or legal action without basis, all right? False claims of documentation, using a fake business name, threatens without intention to follow through, right? Misleading about credit information impact, using deceptive communication, right? So these are different examples of this specific laws. And if this actually happened to you, guess what? I You should go talk to a lawyer. But if you don't want to talk to a lawyer, there are three things you can do right now, right? You can file a complaint with the CFPB. You can file a BBB complaint. You can file a complaint with the Attorney General's office, basically laying out everything that happened, all right? So this is how you can leverage some of those examples to help you get that account, that collection from your removed from your credit report, all right? So the next law we're going to leverage is 15 USC 1681 S-2. All right. Now what we're going to do is go to Google again, right? 15 USC 1681, right? And then from there, what we want to do is again scroll all the way down and then go to the subchapters. All right, very important. And then from there, what we want to do is look for S-2. All right, S-2. Responsibilities of furnishers of information to the consumer reporting agencies. All right. So what you want to do is just go over. I'm just going to read the first part of this specific law. A person shall not furnish any information related to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person knows or has reasonable cause to believe that the information is inaccurate. So when you look at your consumer report or your credit report, what you're going to see is inaccuracies, right? Open date, date last active, date of last payment. If you've been, following me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So what you want to do is, if you haven't, if this is your first time, get your report, get your Identity IQ report, and you're going to see a layout of inaccuracies of your specific account. All right. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. All right. So date open, as you can see, is incorrect. Last reporting is incorrect, and you're going to see multiple things that's going to be incorrect. Date last active, date last payment, and as you can see, payment history is going to be incorrect, and other things are going to be incorrect on your credit report. So you can leverage that you can leverage this information plus the law to get the account removed from your credit report. All right. So that's what we're going to. That's what you can do. So the next law we want to leverage is 15 USC 1681 I-5. All right. Now, if you already disputed with Experian TransUnion Equifax, now sometimes your account's going to come back verified. All right. Now, what you want to do is leverage this specific law to help you remove that account from your credit report. All right. And let me just break down the specific law. So 15 USC 1681 I-5. All right. Go back. And then what we're going to do is click on procedure in case of disputed accuracy. All right. Now, from there, what we want to do is go all the way down to number 5. And once we get to number 5, we're going to break it down. Treatment of inaccurate or unverifiable information. All right. I ain't going to read this whole entire thing, but you're going to understand what I'm talking about. If after any reinvestigation under paragraph 1 of any following disputed by consumer, a item of the information is found to be inaccurate or incomplete or cannot be verified, the consumer report agency, which is Experian TransUnion Equifax or anybody else, shall, what they're supposed to do, promptly delete that item of information from the file of the consumer or modify that item of information as appropriate based on the results of the reinvestigation. So as you can see, they're supposed to delete it or modify it. But 9 times out of 10, they don't. Like if they don't delete it, they technically don't modify it. They don't fix it because as you saw in your report, they don't update it to where it's supposed to be the specific date are supposed to be correct on every single credit report. So you can leverage this specific law to help you get that account removed from your credit report. All right. If you sent in multiple letters already, you can leverage this law, stating it out. And if you don't understand this law, you can get more examples by leveraging ChatGPT, like I showed you earlier, to help you remove this account from your credit report. So the next law we're going to leverage is 15 USC 1692C. All right. Now, from there, what we want to do is just go to the specific law. All right. Now, from there, what we want to do is just go to the subchapters, right? And then look for C. All right. Communication in connection with debt collection. All right. So this breaks down the communication with the debt collector. All right. Some of the things, some of the requirements. So without the prior consent of the consumer given directly to the debt collector or the express permission of a court of competent jurisdiction, a debt collector may not communicate with the consumer in connection with the collection of any debt, number 1, at any unusual time or place, You can read all that, right? Number two, if the debt collector knows that the consumer is represented by an attorney, all right, at the consumer's place of employment, if the debt collector knows or has reason to know that the consumer employer prohibits the consumer from receiving such communication, and so on and so on. All right. So you can leverage this, just read over these specific laws. And if they violate your rights, you can leverage this one specific law. Now, I advise you to talk to an attorney, but you can leverage this. You can leverage this for yourself to get the collection removed from your credit report. All right. All right, now stay with me. All right, 15 USC 1692J. All right, we're gonna leverage this to knock these collection agencies out. All right, so first things first, what you want to do is go to the breakdown, and what we want to do is go down to J. All right, furnishing certain deceptive forms. All right. So if you don't understand this, like I said, we can leverage ChatGPT. All right. And I'm going to show you different examples. So it is unlawful to design, compile, and furnish any form knowing that such form would be used to create the false belief in the consumer that a person other than the creditor of such consumer is participating in the collection of or in an attempt to collect a debt such consumer allegedly owes such creditor when in fact such person is not so participating. All right. Now, what does this specifically mean? You can basically copy all this, right, and ask ChatGPT to break this down. All right. All right, so let's break down this law. All right, so as you can see, ChatGPT came up with phrase by phrase breakdown. It is unlawful to design, compile, and furnish any form. All right, it's illegal to create, put together, or provide any document, letter or form. All right, examples of form can include letters, notices, or other written communication. Knowing that such form would be used to create the false belief in the consumer. All right, so the person creating or providing the form knows it can be used to mislead the consumer. The intent behind the form is to deceive. All right, that that a person other than the creditor of such consumer that a person other than the correct creditor of such consumer is participating. This form gives the impression that someone besides the actual creditor, the person or company that the company owes money to or involved in the collection of any debt, and so on and so on. All right. So you can leverage this, right? If this happened to you, you can leverage that specific law and other multiple laws to help you remove that account from your credit report. All right. Or that collection from your credit report. All right. Now, this is the law everybody should know. I reference this a lot. Now, this is the law that everybody should know. All right, 15 USC 1681 EB. I reference this law a lot. All right, so you can leverage this law to not like remove any account from your credit report. Now, as you know, it isn't 100% guaranteed that's going to come off the first time you leverage it, but if you use it and continue using it, it's going to eventually fall off. All right. So let's go to the specific law. 15 USC 1681 EB. All right. So from there, what you want to do is just scroll all the way down to letter E, right? And then what we want to do is go to B, compliance procedures, and then B, accuracy of report. Whenever a consumer report agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedure to ensure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. All right. So you can use this to get accounts removed from your credit report. You can use this one specific law, all right, to get the account removed from your credit report. All right. So if you have hard inquiries on your credit report, right, which mostly everybody does, 9 times out of 10, them hard inquiries don't have permissible purpose. All right. 15 USC 1681B. All right. You want to leverage this specific law to remove those hard inquiries. All right. So what we want to do is go back. And then from there, what we want to do is just go to 15 USC 1681B. All right. Permissible purpose of consumer reports. All right. So this breaks down permissible purpose of your consumer report, and this breaks down everything. But how to actually see if them inquiries have permissible purpose, you have to give Experian a call, you have to give TransUnion a call, you have to give Equifax a call. Now, once you give them a call, guess what? Once you get that report, it's going to be like probably 70 to 80 pages, probably 100 pages, all depending on like how much accounts or how much information you have on your credit report. You're going to get a big packet of your credit report, right? And then from there, you want to go to the hard inquiry section, all right? going to have soft inquiries, but go to the hard inquiry section. All right. Now, from there, what you're going to see is all your inquiries with the name and the date. And what it's going to say is permissible purpose. And some of them are not going to have permissible purpose. The ones that don't have permissible purpose, you can use that to get it removed from your credit report. All right. But this specific law, all right,